Have you ever tried using an app or website and thought, wait, why is this so confusing? Why can't this be done simpler? Or even worse, blamed yourself, like maybe I'm not just tech savvy enough. That moment, that moment right there is what made me realize the true power of human computer interaction and specifically user centered design. Hi, I'm Samir, and in this reflection, I want to share how my understanding of UCD evolved during this course and especially while working on our semester project. For me, user centered design isn't just a principle, it's actually a mindset shift. And honestly, once you really get it, you start viewing every digital interaction differently. When I first heard the term user centered design, I thought it's obvious design for users. But through lectures and readings, I realized it goes much deeper. UCD means that the users are not considered at the final stage or for feedback. They are involved from the very beginning during problem identification, conceptualization, prototyping, and even after deployment. And one thing really struck me, user centered design doesn't rely on asking users what they want, it focuses on understanding what they actually do. Why? Because if you ask people what they want, they'll often describe that they already know, not what would genuinely solve their challenges. Real observers use behavior, identifies hidden pain points, and even anticipates needs users themselves may not be aware of. It's a shift from design what seems logical to what feels natural for the user. Now, let's talk about our project, the platform for wage laborers. When our group started working on it, we were excited about adding features. We assumed things like job listings, worker ratings, and even documentation uploads would be useful. And sure, maybe they are, but UCD asked us different questions. Useful for whom? For us or for them? That's when we reflected deeper. These workers may not be digitally literate, some may not read English or even comfortable typing. They often rely on verbal agreements, personal references, or direct interactions. And they might not even trust apps due to past scams. So instead of just designing an app, we had to identify and understand their actual workflow. And that's when the user centered design approach changed our project's direction. We started thinking, would voice input be better than text, right? Should instructions be visual or icon based? Do we need recurring tutorial system? Could WhatsApp integration work better because that's something familiar? That was a big turning point for me. UCD forced us to stop designing features and start designing experiences. Now, one of my biggest learnings was that UCD requires humility. You have to accept that you are not your user. What makes sense to you might confuse them. Just because something is technically possible doesn't mean it's practically usable. And I also realized something interesting. Bad design often makes user blame themselves. How many times have we thought, I'm not good with technology, but in reality, the technology wasn't good with us? And that's when it hit me. Great design doesn't make the user adapt to the system, it makes the system adapt to the user. This is for me when the design becomes meaningful, when it feels human, not technical. Now, let's be honest, in industry, UCD is sometimes easier said than done. Companies may prioritize profitability or scalability or even faster development over true user needs. That's why dark patterns exist, designs that push user towards actions that benefit the company. So UCD also becomes a question of ethics. Are we designing for convenience or are we designing for the well-being of the user? Now, to wrap this up, this course helped me see user-centered design not as a method, but as a mindset and continuous process of questioning. Am I designing this for the user's comfort or for my convenience? Am I reducing cognitive load or adding to it? And perhaps the most powerful sign of successful user-centered design is silence. When users don't think about the interface at all, they just do what they come to do without friction. Because truly exceptional design doesn't shout at the user, it whispers, it aligns with their flow, it makes them feel capable, it makes them feel understood. And at the end of the day, that's what I believe technology should do. Not impress others, not impress the other users, but empower them. Yeah, thank you for listening.